All right, we are back. Today, we are testing new makeup to find out what's new in makeup for the month of May. This is a continuation of my previous video. I have so many new products that I need to test out. I am just itching to do this. I know you are itching to see this. So let's go. Let's get started. Subscribe. You know the drill. Notification bell. And let's test some new makeup for the month of May. Let's see what we've got in store for us in May. All right, so for my primer today, I'm gonna go ahead and reach for the Beauty Grip Primer from my previous video. This is the Milk Makeup Dupe, and I've been liking it, I have to say. It's not the most unique thing ever, but it definitely brings something fresh and soothing and smoothing to the skin. Plus it has a nice tacky finish, similar to the Milk Makeup Grip Primer that it is attempting to dupe, but is actually doing it better because I like this primer better. And the reason why I'm using this primer today, even though I already showed you this primer, I used it in my previous video, but in my previous video, I actually made a little teensy tiny bit mistake. So today I'm gonna correct that mistake. I had told you in that video that the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in shade Rattan was recently sent to me in the mail. Unfortunately, I was wrong. It was actually my own Estee Lauder Double Wear that was not sent to me, and I have no idea how long I've had it in my possession. Probably not that long because it looked pretty fresh to me, but point is, it wasn't the very, very latest product. So now I've got my hands on the very, very latest product, and I have it here in shade Tawny. I was certain that I was sent shade Tawny, and I was wondering why I was using Rattan. Now I understand what happened. Basically, I just got them confused. So today I wanna check out shade Tawny, which is another shade that I typically wear. I wanna see if it oxidizes. I wanna see if there's any difference between the original formulation, like I remember, and today's current formula. So I'm gonna shake it up and I'm gonna go right in. But I just took a look at my notes and I'm going slightly out of order. I almost forgot to show you this. I've got this, so hold on, hold that thought. I will be back to the Double Wear in just a second. First, I wanted to show you this Wide Awake Brightening Eye Cream from YSE Beauty or Wise Beauty, I'm not sure. It might actually be Wise, by Molly Sims. You guys remember Molly Sims? She was a supermodel, I believe in the 2000s. Anyway, it has this really cool applicator, kind of similar to Hourglass. You can push here, release the product, and as you can see, the product has color. So this isn't just an eye cream, this is also a color corrector. And I used it earlier today for the first time, and I really, really liked it. This has the most incredible slip. So not only is it an eye cream, it kind of doubles as a concealer primer, if you will. I would even wear this on a no makeup type of day, or like a gym day, but I really like the way that it felt. Sometimes with eye creams and concealers, there's so much discrepancy with the formulas. Sometimes they tend to pill into each other, and it's always hard for me to find a cute little day eye cream like this one. But this, so far, this is my second time trying it. I really, really like it. You could say I'm impressed. I'm gonna let that sit and simmer. I'm obviously gonna go back to concealer, but now let's get back to that Double Wear. I am prepped, I am ready. I'm gonna shake it up once more. I'm gonna apply this with a sponge. The reason why I'm going to apply this with a sponge is because this foundation is very, very, very full coverage. It definitely has that 2016 full coverage type of formulation. And for some reason, those formulas always spread and apply a little bit better with a sponge, because I guess they pack so much pigment that it's a little bit easier to shear them out. It's a little bit easier to maneuver them with a sponge. So right now I have a few pimples here on this side of the face, not so much on this side of the face, but this formula and this coverage, it takes care of it almost instantly. Almost like you don't need concealer, but obviously I will be using concealer. And it's another reason why I'm reaching for the Double Wear again, because I was just sent a Double Wear concealer in the mail. So now I have to try them together. I have to pair them and I have to see basically how they work. I don't actually ever remember reaching for the Double Wear concealer back in the day, back in the glorious days of 2016. I kind of was always a Shape Tape girl. In fact, I don't even remember if a Double Wear concealer existed back then, but it exists now. So we are gonna put it to the test. Okay, I think we've got a nice even face base happening. Here we go. Here we go. Shade Rattan looks really, really nice on me. It is not too yellow. It doesn't seem to be oxidizing just yet. And in fact, it just looks like a very nice neutral golden type of undertone. So it is classified as a 3W, so 3 with a warm undertone, similar to rattan, and so far so good. Oh, of course, I left the concealer over there on my table. BRB. So I've got 2 shades. They actually sent me 4 shades, but I'm gonna go with shade 2N because 2N is actually deeper than 2W, which confused me a little bit, but I'll show you both. I really do like the wide applicator here. And really, I'm only going to apply this to certain spots, just some strategic little spots here and there. The thing with this concealer is that it is extremely... Oh wait, shit, I can't wait with this concealer because I actually have to blend it out. Okay, the thing with this concealer is you gotta go quickly because it is so matte and it dries down pretty quickly to the point that it solidifies on your face. I made the mistake earlier today of wearing just the concealer and just some skincare on my face. And let me tell you, that was a big mistake because a super pigmented, super matte concealer like this one does not look great over just bare skin with some skincare. That's a sure way to make you look like you are wearing too much makeup, honestly. Whenever the textures don't match is when you can actually tell that someone's wearing makeup or doesn't know how to do their makeup. And that's literally what happened to me because I just decided, hey, why not? I'm gonna test this on my spare time. I should have waited till tonight to test it on video, but now I actually know how to wear it better. And in order to wear it better, you have to wear this one with a full coverage foundation as well. So the double wear foundation plus the double wear concealer, this is a really good match. Also, if you have a drier under eye, you might wanna make sure that you prime that under eye very thoroughly with a nourishing, richer type of eye cream. Because if you don't, I promise you, this will look very cakey. It even ended up looking very cakey on me with my oily skin. All right, but now that I've done that, it kind of looks better. All right, so now I'm gonna show you the lighter shade, which is actually 2W. Probably should have showed them side by side. I guess I could do that. So here is the 2N, right? And very quickly, 2W. Hi, Bowie. 2W is significantly lighter and brighter. And I'm not sure if it actually feels warmer to me. So yes, if you're going for a full face, full coverage, glam type of makeup, this would be a good combo. If you are trying to sheer this out, if you're trying to wear either one of these in a natural sort of way, I don't think this is the product for that. This is strictly a coverage type of product. And when I say coverage, I mean full coverage. So if you're looking for full coverage, this is an OG and it's still worth your time and it's worth your money. So for contour, I'm gonna reach for good old duping brand Emco, their instant contour, which is supposed to be a dupe for Charlotte. Same silly applicator that I don't love. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't think I should do the most with this one because the color is quite deep, but I like that it's cool. And what I'm gonna do is actually blend it out with the same sponge. By the way, this sponge is from KOSAS. I've had it for a long time and it's one of my favorites. And I will say this contour is really easy to work with, which is why I kept it, quite honestly. I really do like the formula. It's a thin formula, easily glides, blends super seamlessly. There's no staining. Sometimes with formulas like this, hi boys, my cats have found a box. Sometimes with formulas like this, it's really easy to stain the skin and very hard to blend out that stain once it's on. Oh shoot. Totally forgot to blend out my concealer here. And it is indeed solidified. Damn. Okay. Try my best, but I don't know. I really do like the color of this contour. Shade is medium dark or medium/dark. And I think it is the perfect contour shade for me. For my skin tone, not too much. It's just good, just enough for blush. Told you guys in my previous video, I really want to try out these CoverGirl Skin Enhancer True Blend blushes. They are so cute. I'm already familiar with the pink one. Now there's a purple, there's a peach, there's a nude. So I think I want to do a little bit of purple. This shade is stunning and it has that beautiful gel-like consistency. I'm going to apply that right above that contour. Maybe a little bit on the nose as well. I think I'm just gonna go back to my sponge. The sponge is a little bit more tedious because it takes longer, but it's precise. And it really does place the product exactly where you want it. So yeah, these blushes are quite nice. I don't know, some of these drugstore brands, specifically CoverGirl and their Clean Fresh line, are honestly up there competing with the best of them. Like their products have been solid. And these little sticks, the contour sticks as well, very, very nice. I'm gonna go back to my brush. Just feels a little bit more intuitive to me. I also feel like I can kind of fix some of my mistakes from the previous steps where I forgot to blend out my concealer. And I think the brush definitely helps to kind of mask mistakes. How pretty is the shade? It's not necessarily summery or springy because it definitely has that winter girl effect, like a little bit frosty, but it is just so dainty. I really like it. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to the KOSAS powder. I have the pink and the yellow. I'm thinking let's balance out this pinky purpley blush. And also I kind of want to apply this powder with a brush. In my previous video, I applied it with a sponge, or with a puff rather, because I wanted to apply it maximally. But today I want to apply it minimally, like I typically apply my powder, just to kind of set and lightly color correct. So I'm taking the yellow powder, big old Mario brush. I'm just gonna start with the perimeter of my face, kind of setting everything, but I'm not really setting. I'm actually just getting rid of that stickiness from the foundation. One thing with the double wear foundation is that it will lock in. It's almost a self-setting type of foundation. Same with the concealer. They are so matte and so dry, which works for oily skin, but also because I have that grippy primer, because I have the oily skin, I still need to get rid of that tiny bit of tackiness. There's almost nothing left here in the cap. So that little bit of remaining product, I'm gonna brush on my forehead, across the nose, and kind of like across all the remaining parts. But then I am gonna take a tiny little brush, just a pinch more product. I'm gonna set the under eye. And also around the nose, just to prevent any crinkling, creasing, movement, etc. There's one more powder that I want to show you guys. And again, it's from the duping brand Emco. This one obviously looks like the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, except it's white inside. So what I'm gonna do with this one is actually clean up the contour and the blush, because it does look just a pinch messy to me. So this is the perfect product to do that with. I'm gonna grab a slightly more precise brush. This one is from Rephr 04 brush. I'm gonna load it up kind of generously. And then starting from the ear, just gonna sweep it forward and end right about here. That's it. So essentially it's a reverse contour, just a bit of a cleanup situation. Same thing on this side. So notice I'm not really baking because I'm not using a puff. I'm not actually pressing this product all the way in. I'm just kind of superficially painting the surface. That's it. I'm just using it to clean up and to brighten certain areas. I'm gonna brighten my chin, just the bottom of my chin, and also right here between the brows, around the nose, and that's it. That's it. I'm gonna let that sit until I'm done, and then I'm gonna whisk it away, and it's gonna be perfect. Next, ta-da! We've got the new Pixie X Hello Kitty Anywhere palette. Just got my hands on it. This is a limited edition palette, you guys. Look at these glorious, gorgeous, glowing shades. These are a little bit unique and different for Pixie in the sense that they are contouring, bronzing, and glowing shades in skin tones. So if you notice, there's really only one rosy shade in here. So this one would be the blush. The others are all customizable type of glow finish or glow enhancers types of shades. And by the way, this product, I believe, is currently available on TikTok Shop. I want to say TikTok Shop, but I could be wrong. It is definitely available on Pixie Beauty, but you have to use the code GLOWBESTIE, all caps, in order to find it. So it's kind of like hidden in their website. So type GLOWBESTIE in the search field if you want to get this palette before it becomes available to the public. I think that's pretty cool, actually. So I know there's a lot of Hello Kitty fans out there. So if you know someone who is a Hello Kitty fan, this might make an amazing gift. Anyways, I saw this palette in action and I was pretty impressed. Also, I noticed that a lot of you guys wanted to see it in action because you have told me so on my IG stories after I showed it. So let's see. Kind of want to use the pink, the peach, and definitely the contour shade here. So let's go for the peach first. Oh yeah, this is so pretty. So what I love about this shade is that it is equal parts gold and pink. So it has just the prettiest reflect. Do you see how wet and stunning it looks on the skin? That's really pretty. All right, so now I'm gonna go for a little bit of the peachy. This is a Wayne Goss 02 brush, super old. Just gonna add that right here to my eye socket. Temple area just for a burst of glow. So this isn't like a 2016 type of highlighter. This isn't like a blinding, booming, beaming. If you notice, it's a little bit different. It actually kind of looks like glass skin. It's giving that illusion of wet but glassy and very, very current. So that's what I specifically was interested in when I saw this palette. I noticed that it wasn't looking like it was sitting on the skin. It wasn't looking like a chalky, like a visible highlighter powder. It's definitely something different, and I really appreciate it. All right, so now I think I'm gonna remove that subtle bake I did, and all it's gonna do is just leave that little bit of brightness. It just makes everything look so much cleaner. Next, big old bronzing brush. Actually, it is Sigma's Soft Angle Contour F23 brush. Subtly Sun-Touched is the shade that I'm going for. And I'm just gonna paint the side of the forehead. Again, very similar vibe. Even though this is the most matte shade in this palette, it has this unique dewiness to it. It looks so fresh and eye-catching. It almost makes the full coverage foundation look a little bit less full coverage. Like it makes it look more like your skin is flawless, but it's got this natural kind of shine. I think I'm impressed. I think I like this one. Actually, I like it a lot. The colors are really nice. They are very, very, very well picked. And typically I wouldn't gravitate towards colors like this, but like I said, the formula and the textures of these is so different that it makes the colors actually perfect. Genius. Next, that was very, very pleasant. I gotta admit, the next thing that I want to show you guys is something so exciting to me. Every time I see a brown velvet box with the gold word naked on it, I just get so giddy. Again, it takes me all the way back to my college days, back when my dad literally bought me my very first naked palette because I couldn't afford it and it was my birthday and he asked me what I wanted and I literally took him to Sephora and was like, that's what I want. So thanks, Dad. Anyways, now the Naked palette is reimagined with eyeshadow crayons. Yes. So we've got the Naked palette, but broken into some crayons. So we've got 5 shimmery shades. We've got 3 matte shades. I'm actually gonna pop up some swatches here so you guys can take a look up close. I'm gonna start off with this dark brown shade. This one is called Tasteful. I'm gonna lift that all the way up, kind of like that. I wanna see if you can work with both eyes at the same time, if there's enough playing room or not. But basically I'm just darkening the outer corner with shade Tasteful, which is actually a shimmer. But this is the most subtle of the shimmers. So I would say this is the 5th shimmer. The rest of them are like shimmery. This one's like almost a matte. I would say it's definitely more of a satin finish, if you ask me. I'm gonna very, very subtly blur out the edges, working with both eyes at the same time. This brush is Morphe M521, or honestly, you could have probably done that with your finger. This does blend out a little bit more shimmery than I was expecting, but nonetheless, it looks great. All right, next, let's take shade Toasty. So all of these are shades that you probably remember from various Naked palettes, from the original to the Naked 2, to the 3, and so on. But I gotta say, this particular eyeshadow crayon feels a lot more user-friendly than some of the others. I feel like everyone who reviews makeup on the internet always reaches for either Laura Mercier or Bobbi Brown or MAC, but in my very humble opinion, those formulas are just so dry on the eyes. It's almost impossible to blend them out, specifically the Laura Mercier. Those are the toughest. They do have incredible lasting power, but you have to be like a pro makeup artist with the right tools. You really have to know and work that product the way that a makeup newbie or a beginner or just like an everyday user just wouldn't have the intuition to do, you know? But these are very easy to use. You can basically blend these out with your finger or with a brush. They really do listen to your movement, and I like that. Not that I'm like trashing the Laura Mercier or the NARS or the MAC. I just find them to be a little bit finicky, like a little bit hard to work with, even for me. All right, next, I am reaching for shade Top Off for my inner corner, just to complete this little gradient here. Inner corner tear duct, boom, 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 a little bit of brightness, bringing it to its completion. I love it. I feel like these vibes are very grown and sexy, but not in a mature way. I feel like in a very mindful sort of way. I swear. Ever since the demure and mindful, it's like we've lost adjectives for makeup words. All right, next thing I want to test are these STILA Stay All Day Chrome Liners. These are so pretty. I am going to show you guys some swatches. popping them up. I don't necessarily think they go with this look, but who cares? We're testing new makeup, and we gotta put this to the test. The shades are stunning. I think my favorite shade is probably, it's probably shade Peacock, so I should probably go for it. So here we go. We're gonna ruin this beautiful makeup, or maybe we won't. Maybe we'll dress it up. But I really do wanna show you this stunning, stunning shade. Man, have you ever seen a chrome liquid liner quite like this one? I don't know if you have, because I don't know if I have. This is so satisfying. All right, so this is shade Peacock. Shade Mermaid also has like a very teal sort of vibe. So I'm gonna reach for the other shade for my other eye. This is shade Firefly. I believe you have to shake these up. And obviously I already have mascara on my lashes, so it's a little bit difficult to go above the mascara with this dippy type of liner, but we're making it work. Wow, do you see how cool that is? Oh my God. STILA is one of those brands that excels at liquid liners and just liners in general. I really like their waterproof stay all day liners. I really like their liquid liners. I mean, their chrome liners are definitely up there. I actually don't know of too many brands that have dippy chrome liner marker type of products. So this is unique. It's cool. I really, really like it. I hope it stays this bright looking, but I'll definitely let you know. Oh, you guys, we are at the end of the video. I've got just one more product to show you, and I will show you all the shades. I'm talking about the new MAC lip gloss. This one right here. I don't know if you guys have seen this one on social, but basically this is supposed to be a newer, non-sticky version of the original MAC lip gloss. There's a bunch of shades here. We've got some reds, we've got some clears, some pinks, some peaches, some browns, and I think for the sake of today, I'm gonna go for one of these more natural shades. I mean, I am thinking shade Casual or shade Instinct. So this is shade Casual. So this is definitely giving lip oil rather than a gloss. It has that very slippery, non-sticky type of glide like they mentioned. However, I'm not sure that this effect will last. I find that with lip oils, they just wear off too quickly. They don't stay glossy enough. They feel very comfortable at first, but because they feel so comfortable, you kind of almost forget that they're there, and you end up just like licking your lips or not being as careful with your gloss as you would be with like an actual traditional goopy type of gloss. And so it just wears off a little bit too quickly for my taste. All right, let me just try another shade, shade Instinct. I will say though, some people have been swearing by these. I have been hearing good things, but to me, this is just too close to a lip oil. I don't trust those things. Not yet. Not yet. Lip oils have just not been around that long for me to fully trust them, okay? They have not won me over. I am not a lip oil girl. I don't care what the Gen Alphas are saying. I don't care what they're buying at Sephora, okay? I just feel like it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. Yeah, cute colors. Yeah, it feels okay, but I'm not in the business of reapplying my lip color 15 times a day. No thanks. I don't know. Cute, but I'm not impressed. Damn, I thought I was on a good streak. I thought everything pretty much impressed me in this video, except for that lip oil. And the fact that they're not calling it a lip oil, the fact that they're still referring to it as a MAC lip gloss, which to me means gloss, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. All right, on that final little note, I am done with my makeup. This is the look. This is what we came up with. Disregard the two different eyeliner colors, but they're chrome, so they can't really be disregarded. But here we go. Just like a simple, maybe not so simple, very glowy type of beat. Testing out all these new products. I gotta say, everything worked out pretty well for me today. Even the lip gloss is fine. You know, I'm just being nitpicky. But the things that I'm most intrigued about are definitely the STILA chrome liners. These are awesome. I also really like the glide of the Urban Decay Naked eyeshadow crayons. Very, very nice, unexpected, but something different and cool, very easy to use. I also was really pleasantly surprised by the Pixie Hello Kitty palette. Although I knew that this was gonna be good because I had already seen a demo and I knew what these formulas look like on the skin. This was my first time trying it on camera on my skin, and I gotta say, this is very modern, and I'm definitely into it. Also, still liking the KOSAS powder. Still into the double wear foundation. I don't know about the concealer. I find that it is just a little bit too matte and a little bit too solid for my preference. But if you are a full coverage loving girl or boy, you will probably like the concealer as well. So those are kind of my 2 cents in a nutshell. I am gonna end it right here, you guys. I am very, very tired, so I'm gonna zoom on out and invite you to check out more videos. Peace out. I'm out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.